Okay, so I'm starting up on a new channel. I don't know what's going to happen with it, so that's why I haven't been getting too carried away. Figured I'd try some of these research vids first, try to run some research vids through for a week or so, see how that goes. The Michael Oziak channel, I'm just going to promote the shit out of it, I guess, on the other channel, but it's not, I'm not able to keep the channel. It keeps getting taken away from me. So the most I can hold on to the channel is like a day and a half. It's been the longest that I can hold on to it, and then they grab the new password and steal the channel over again. I did notice they are deleting some videos, certain videos, so I don't know what that's going to tell me or what, I don't fucking know. For example, one of the Brian Austin Lambert videos disappeared on me. One of the Quantum of Conscience series, the one, I only noticed that one because it did have a lot of views. It had over 200 views on it. And even those 200 views, that was on the low side because I seen that video even higher than that. That video was up to 300-400 views. And bounced back down to 150 views, then back up to 225 or 250, something like that. And then now it's not even there anymore. That was the one on the Veil. That was one of the videos on the Veil for Quantum of Conscience. So that video is now gone. And I didn't notice anything from the Santos Bonacci series missing. I didn't notice anything there. But then again, I gotta keep looking around and see what happens. I mean, which is kind of strange to me because if I was a diddler, if I was diddling the fucking channel, I would just delete all the fucking videos. And I mean, I'd just sit there, especially if you got the channel for a day or two. I think they had that channel for well over a week. Before I even caught on to what was going on. So if that was me, I would have just fucking sat there, delete. I would just deleted them all. But they're only going and deleting certain videos. It's kind of weird. Not very smart for somebody with such computer hackery skills. I mean, why wouldn't you just delete everything? Kind of calling yourself out a little bit, no? About what you want and don't want to be seen. I don't know. Maybe they wanted me to continue on with that channel just after they cleaned it up a little bit. Then they'd go on with it. I don't know. It's a guessing game. So rather than me wasting all my time guessing at what the fuck they're up to, just gonna start anew. I've learned so many things in the last year anyways that this new channel is going to blow away the Michael Oziak channel anyway. I'll do so much better. And if the other channel, I'm still able to view the videos. I'm able to go in and view the videos on the channel. My iPad is totally taking a total shitter. These cell phones that I'm talking to you on, it's one of the reasons why I'm a little weary about doing videos on the cell phones, about putting any serious time into them, is because of what I was saying earlier. I don't know if they're going to stick or not. I don't know if it'll even be able to keep the vids. I just have to wait and see. Sometimes I'll be making videos like this one right here, and then by the end of the day, I'll go back and look, and all the videos will be gone. And I keep changing the password. I'm changing the password pretty regularly. I get the channel back. I jump through all the hoops that YouTube and Google want me to jump through, but yet they're still coming in. So I don't know what the answer is going to be there. Do I just have to go and get another cell phone? Do I got to go get another cell phone that uses a camera? It's definitely cheaper for me to just go get another cell phone and just start anew on a new cell phone than it is to buy protection for the cell phone. You know, it's cheaper to just buy another new one. They're only $35. No big deal there. So I'll do whatever I gotta do. Let's see what happens. some time to look at other things, to think about things, to see things, and so it's kind of good in a way, you know. As long as I don't get distracted with it, as long as I don't let it distract me and fuck me up, because I have days where I'm real pissed off about it, and it's just a distraction. Research vids up. I'm going to do split all the clouds today, a little bit of the trees, start all over on the research vids. Since I know that I'm hitting some soft spots, otherwise they wouldn't have shut my channel down like this. They wouldn't have stole my channel, I should say. They wouldn't have done that unless I was touching on a nerve. So if I'm touching on a nerve with someone, I'm not even positive if I'm touching the nerve, but I think Brian Austin Lambert, because he was just in there a week or two ago from his false account, talking shit. Pretty easy person to read. I know it was Brian. So maybe I'll start the series off with Brian again. I'd like to finish the Santos Bonacci series on my new channel. So rather than pick it up from the end, it might be too confusing for new subscribers, because now I'm starting off with 0 subs again. I've only got 3 subs on this channel. I think one of them is me. So you know we won't get any views from there, because I can't even go on to the Michael Oziak channel anyway. So I won't be getting any views from there. And the other 2, I picked up those other 2 subs on the Miguel Everyone channel, on the channel I'm going to post these on, under the Beyond the Imaginary Curve for Brian Austin Lambert series. So it could be Brian Austin Lambert, could be one of the subs on there as well. I just remember that that's when I picked up those 2 subs, was when I was working on that series. So if that ends up being the case, it's a crapshoot there too, who knows. At the same time, I'm working it out to start posting videos on at least the research vids. At least the research vids are going to be coming up under other IP addresses and under other people's channels. I'm not even sure that I should use the same channels that I was using before, my private channels. I don't think I should, because again, they're all under the same Google account. Different channels, different names under the same Google account. So if they stole the Google account, most likely they're going to just fuck with all of those. So I think I'm going to have to start afresh on all of those, just to make sure that I don't get shut down in like a month or 2. I want to be able to stay up for at least a year, and all of the shit that I've learned in the past year of doing all this, because it's almost Halloween. So almost Halloween, that's when this all started for me. The nanocarbon, finding the nanocarbon system started last Halloween, right, a little before. But I really started getting into it. You gotta remember, I was doing videos last Halloween of the clouds around the moon, but I still had not found the nanocarbon in the moon. I did not realize the workings of the system. I still don't know the entire working of the system. It's just coming to me more and more every day. Little things will come to me, and then I'll put them to play. I'll research them. I'll check them out, and they're bang. I'm in. You know, I move on. The triangular shapes that the nanocarbon run in, all that shit. I've learned a lot. In the last year. So I'll be able to put all that. This next channel will be much better than the Michael Oziak channel, no doubt about it, because I'll have more evidence that I can show you that you can go see for yourselves. So if anybody does come to these videos, if you watch along as I make these videos, you'll see how to do it. I'm a little faster at explaining things. Things will be more clear. about doing is running 2 or 3 series at the same time. Now that I'm going to have a couple of helpers, I'm going to have a couple of people that are going to be actually out there posting the research vids at another IP address and another channel, and I'll leave those channels up just as research vids, because the people that are going to be doing these research vids are just typical zombies. They're just typical everyday people, so they're not going to know anything that I'm talking about. They're not going to understand it. As a matter of fact, that's one of the reasons why I'm being very clear, and who knows how long they'll hang around for as well. That's another issue. I don't know how long they'll be able to handle it. So of course they're going to be talking things like space aliens, God, religions, all that kind of shit. It's Satan, it's the devil's work, all this kind of shit. So that's another reason why I don't even want them really speaking on camera. I want the volume to be on. I want them to have a mic on, but I need them to keep their mouths shut, keep their opinions to themselves, because their opinions are not objective. They're just everything they've been programmed to believe throughout their lives. So I just need them to shut up. So if they're going to be bullshitters, talkers like I am, and it's going to be, oh, God's here, Satan's come to get God, and there's a big war in the battle of the heavens, and the space aliens come down and plant the tree, and all that bullshit stories, then it's not going to do me any good. It's just going to fuck everybody up and confuse everybody. Might as well just go do videos for mainstream if you're going to do that, or go make videos for a Plain Truth. A Plain Truth likes all that kind of shit and all those other guys. So that's it. And then I'm a lot less believing in anything geocentric as well, where a year ago I was still on the verge of trying to figure out, is there any reality or truth to the geocentric models, which is one of the reasons why I went for Santos Bonacci, because I know how much knowledge he has about the geocentric models. But now what I just learned in the last couple months, once I got the moon on clear plastic, that's all done as far as I'm concerned as well. I have no, it's not a matter of not believing. I can now prove that it's all bullshit. It's fucking bullshit. And I don't know about all of it being bullshit, but majority of it's bullshit, and the things that I'm researching about it seem to be bullshit. So, I'm going to be working on all that. So it's hard to know where I'm going to really start. So that's why I'm just kind of starting with testing out these research vids to find out even if they're going to stick. Am I going to be able to make these videos on these 2 cameras still? Or am I going to have to just dump these 2 cameras? If I dump the 2 cameras, I could probably clear them out, delete everything that's on the camera's memory, and get rid of everything, start blank, and then hand them off to these other people from other IP addresses and let them have a fresh start, so just so I don't waste the $40 that I paid for the cameras. All that kind of shit. Also, something else has come to me since all this has been going down, since my channel's been going down. Like I said, it's kind of nice to have some time to myself to think about things too, and not be distracted with the fighting and arguing of getting the channels back and figuring shit out. It's kind of nice in a way, because I am coming very close to figuring out why is it only feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, right? And these are just thoughts now. I'm just going to throw out thoughts. I don't have any evidence for them, but they're just thoughts. Some of the things that I do have evidence for is that we are electrical creatures. We started out as electrical creatures, and then we went bio. Somewhere along the lines, we went bio. And when I look back at biblical bullshit stories, right? We go back to the Adam and Eve story, the story of Adam and Eve. And God tells Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree of life. Well, after the tree research and figuring out that the trees also is a big misconception, lie, just another lie, on the part of the human population, that the human population needs these trees Maybe we do now because we're so fucking bio now. The trees are taking over. The trees have taken over. They're larger than us. They use more of our utilities. They use more of the water. They're taking up all the water, the oxygen, the energy. They're grabbing all the energy before we can even get it. They've overgrown us and they've taken over. We've allowed it. We've allowed them to take over. We pushed them actually to take over, and we're continuing to do so in a really, really bad way. That's why when you go to get an emissions test on your car, you got all these restrictions for the carbons and bullshit stories they put in the air, and they got us watching out for every little. It's ridiculous. It makes no fucking sense. It never did make any sense that we were being charged for carbon dioxide when the trees use the carbon dioxide. Plants and trees use it to better soak up their light energy. So none of that ever made sense to me anyway. But now what's happened is some things are coming to me now. So the idea of Adam and Eve eating from the tree of life, there was no talk about what they were eating before they ate from the tree of life. They certainly weren't baking bread, right? We know they weren't doing that. They were not eating animals of the earth before eating off that tree. They were not, taking a lamb or there's no stories of anything like that. There's no stories of Adam and Eve eating anything before eating from the tree of life. We assume that they were eating. We assume they were eating grapes, blueberries, things off small bushes, right? And is that the start of when we began to go bio? Is that the start of us going bio, was eating from these trees of life? Whether it be the apple tree, the grapes, the raisins, the things like this. We meaning feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. These things, okay? These creatures, these energy creatures. Now, we still have questions about all the other species that we see today, the dolphins, the whales, the ocean life, the horse, the cow, the bull. Why are they not represented in the system? That's always gets me. Always has, still continues to get me. So I'm looking for those answers of why that is. And when I think back to this story of Adam and Eve eating from the tree of life, and knowing that the trees were not even here the way they are today, was that the start of it? Was that the start of it? There were these bioorganisms that broke through the light bulb. Because now, here I am now. Again, a year ago, you heard me calling it a veil, and you heard me refer to the stars and the moon as holes in the veil. Well, that's no longer my thought process anymore. I have evidence that shows me otherwise now. Now that I have the moon on clear plastic, I can experiment with it, I can look at it, study it, and I can see that that's not the case. It's not the way that it works either. So it's not holes in the veil. And I was always just calling it holes in the veil as a way to explain what I was seeing, so that people would realize that it's not some planets in outer space, because there's no such thing as outer space. That I can guarantee you. That I can prove. You can all prove that to yourselves if you ever wanted to. So there's something there. There's something there. The start of the bio, the start of the trees, as they started out as bushes or small trees. Apple trees are not very large. Apple trees are small. So there's no talk of any gigantic trees. The idea of what we call a pineal gland coming from a pine cone, the shape of it, shaped like a pine cone. Well, there were no pine trees in the start of all this. There were no fucking trees before, like there are today. And this timeline does not go back very far at all. This timeline of my timeline of 4,000 years. My timeline is only 4,000 years ago. So 4,000 years ago, is when humanity became bio. Before that, things existed. There was an existence of things, but we were energy creatures. The other creatures of the earth, the other ones I'm talking about, the horse, the cow, the bull, the ocean life, all these other creatures that are not represented in the system. Because everywhere I look, whether it's the clouds, the moon, the landscapes, the rocks, the ocean, you name it, everywhere, it's always feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast, and it's always these 5 triangular shaped nanocarbon that build these images for us. So if you want to think of this on a spiritual level, if you want to think this, I've had people ask me these questions, and I try to answer them the best that I can. But again, I'm not locked into anything. I will take feedback from other people and use it as my own, and take it and use their knowledge or their thoughts as my own, and then add it to what I've already learned and study it further, right? So that's what I'm seeing when I'm looking around at all this. I'm noticing that none of these other things come into play. The birds, here and there, like one of the series I just did for a tripping sponge, which I don't know if a tripping sponge could be. I'm not even going to talk about it yet. I'll wait another week or two on that, because I've got some shit on that series as well. So let me leave that one alone. I'll come back to that. But there's a lot of things, that questions that people have about spirituality. They want to know about could a spirit be inside of a tree? I think not, because the trees are not represented in the system. Feline, canine, rodent, ape, human, and beast. So if you are going to have a relative come to you and from this other realm, they want to call it another realm. I don't believe it's another realm. I think it's our realm. It's all around us. It's the same energy. It's the same energy that I'm talking about. It's all around us. So this nanocarbon that builds these images for us to see, we, now that we're so fucking bio, we refuse to see them. It's not that we cannot see them. We can see them. I trick people into seeing it all the time. When I do my zombie street interviews, I trick people into seeing them face to face. When I'm doing the YouTube videos, they're seeing them. They just will change their belief because they're watching it on a video screen. They're watching it as if they're watching a television show or some sort of entertainment. So they don't take it quite so seriously. They don't take it literally. They just think it's some guy doing computer graphic generation bullshit, computer graphics or something. Understandable. I would encourage that way of thought, actually, because I don't believe anything I fucking see without seeing it for myself as well. So they want to know, is my dead grandmother or my dead cousin or my dead friend living in that tree? No. Are they living in this whale that keeps coming by my ship? I'm on a boat, and this whale keeps coming to me and making this noise to me. I think that it's, if you have a spiritual belief or whatever, you might be believing these things. You're probably seeing and hearing reality, but unfortunately, we've taken down so many wrong, false roads that you're misunderstanding it. They're all around you. They're all here with us all the time. It's not in another realm. They're in the same fucking realm as us. And if we had not gone so bio, we would see them more clearly. We would understand their messages more clearly. We would see the imagery that they're building for us in these trees. So they're not in the tree. They're building the tree. They're building us. They build us as we're born in our mother's womb. I point out the triangles between your fingers. I point out the certain features all over our bodies that are triangular shapes building them. When I point at the tree, by the way, and I say they're building the tree, you can see the nanocarbon building the tree. Look for the gaps, the spaces, what you think is nothing, what you think is zero, and I'll point out as I go along There's no such thing as zero. Where you think there is zero things, there are things. It's this electromagnetic nanocarbon. That's where we're born from. That's the energy that we're born from, what we call the pineal gland, what we call our soul, what we call our spirit, okay? That's why my energy can contact many, many other energies all at the same time, all over this fucking earth. But they're not going to pick it up. It doesn't have to be this guy that I'm passing right here, right now. I don't have to be that close. It can be anywhere, because that's the way the energy works. So, therefore, there's no, reason to wonder or guess anymore. We can now see this, feel it for ourselves. So if you feel your dead grandmother's energy or a cousin's energy or something like that, yes, and if they're born again and they come back again, it's not unheard of. These things that we refer to as spirituality, because actually I have several subs actually that, one of them never watches my videos ever. He's a friend of mine, and he never watches my videos. I know he does not. But he has a relative that's psychic, has psychic ability. Now, of course, a lot of these psychics that have psychic ability are full of shit, and they have their little tricks and their games, and they're like totally full of shit. It's just a bunch of nonsense. But then there's a lot of them that actually are able to contact this. It's not another realm. They're just able to contact the energy. They're just able to be in touch with the energy. Their guard is down. Maybe I'll try to explain it as they're not so worried about what the system will think of them if they go ahead and interact with this other energy that's all around us. They're not afraid to do so, and therefore they do. And that's real. That's a reality. I can't find any way around that. The only thing that I'd like to find around it is stop calling it religious names. Stop naming it after religion. It's all. It's easier to explain and to understand in an electrical fashion, electromagnetics, energy rather than spiritual, and because that's where the lies began. The bio bullshit stories. God tells Adam and Eve not to eat from the tree of life. Well, how are they supposed to survive? How are they supposed to live if they're not allowed to eat? And if they were eating grapes and raisins and other things like that and other trees, I don't see any of that. I don't hear any of that in biblical talk, because all the story starts out that in the beginning, right? So the whole thing about God building everything in 7 days, all that kind of stuff, it seems more to me, and I will continue to research it because I feel like I'm onto something here. It seems more to me that that's when we went bio. That's when we started turning bio. So Adam and Eve decided to start eating some of these things that were being the fungus. It's the fungus. It's a bio fungus. The trees, they're bio. We didn't need to eat them. We didn't need to eat that apple. We didn't need the tree of life. Never did. We can live on the energy alone. We do. Well, one time we could. I highly doubt it now. I very highly doubt that today we would have this ability to go right back and snap our fingers and go right back to it. Now, it would have to take a major takedown, which there might be a natural takedown that happens. There are still some questions that I have about all that. It seems very doom and gloom to me on a bio scale. But that's exactly what it would be. It would only be doom and gloom on a bio scale. So if like, let's say, I'll take Brian Austin Lambert's model. I'll take his model again and use it. because I'm gonna rank out Brian again anyway. I'm gonna make it, because if it is Brian that's shutting my channels down, he might be one of the people coming in and breaking in and doing this. It probably is, because I know he came to me. So if it's Brian Austin Lambert, I'd love to fuck with him some more. I'd love to fucking bust his balls now, because now I'm a little pissed off about all that. So using his plasma theory, right? So let's say it is a great energy that's going to come through and it's going to take out the entire Earth, and there's only going to be a very small population left. We're going to go right back to the beginning. And again, we're going to start off very minimal as far as bio goes, because all the trees are going to get taken out. All plant life is going to get taken out. I believe that all